Now we will disassemble the gearbox of the SSR9. First, we're going to start removing the screws. They're located right here. I like to first open them a little bit. Make sure to apply some pressure when opening them the first time. Okay. Okay, before we continue with the gearbox, there's something you should know. You will see there are 5 longer screws, basically they're just longer, and 4 shorter screws. The 4 short screws belong here at the top, and the other ones are here. Let's put them aside. All right.
For the SSR9 DSG, we're quickly cutting into explaining differences between the 1.5 and the DSG itself. Essentially, it looks a little bit different, but there's no difference in the disassembly process, steps, or guide that's to follow. I'm just here to quickly point out what those differences are, so you're not scared by it. It's obviously finding your DSG gear set, your taper plate, which is shorter, your taper plate spring, which is different, and your cylinder, which is also different. Those are the components that are different between the 1.5 joule and the SSR9 DSG.
Now we carefully remove the lid from the top. Okay. So we're gonna start with the spring holding down the tappet plate. Then we can remove the entire part here. There we have the tappet plate with the spring. We have the nozzle, the piston, and basically this stays in one part. You can remove it, but I wouldn't recommend removing it if you don't need to. Now next are going to be the gears themselves. Here we have the anti-reversal latch. Make sure you don't lose the spring. Make sure you do have some lube on this. There we have the spur gear. The trigger also has a spring. Make sure you don't lose it. There's the spring. You can also take it off, but let's just leave it on here. Here we have the ETU. To remove this, you will need a Phillips head bit. Just turn it out, remove it. Now here you will see that there is this little part holding down the cables. This will be important when we put the ETU back in its place. And here we have the ETU itself. When disassembling the gearbox, make sure that you're not losing the shims, either also put them back in place where they belong, because otherwise you're going to have a hard time assembling the whole thing back together. Like when the shim is a little bit on the side and not aligned with the hole, the gear most likely won't go in. This will become a problem when you're putting back on the lid. Also for the lid, when you're removing it, don't put it on the table like this, but turn the inside up so you don't lose the shims here as well. As we can see here, there is a shim missing already. This is because it is still on the gear. And this is how you disassemble the gearbox of the SSR9.